One minute this guy was a rich kid, the next minute his home was looted. He's instantly a pauper, because Grandpa Roy had set him a lot of tests. Only if he passes all the tests before he can inherit the $2 billion his grandfather left him. This time his grandfather's test is for Roy to find a true friend. When Roy heard this, he called his former friends for help, but when his friends heard that Roy had become a poor man, they found all sorts of reasons to ignore him. Roy had no choice but to lie down on a bench in the park to rest. It wasn't long before he heard a scream. After seeing that it was a mother and daughter, Roy stepped right up and scared off the homeless man. As a thank you to Roy, the mother and daughter treated him to a nice, hearty meal. When the girl learned that Roy was worried about finding a friend at the moment, the little girl offered to pretend to be his friend, for him to complete the test. And sure enough, when he brought the little girl to the lawyer, he passed the test with flying colors. The lawyer then handed him an envelope with money in it. It was then that Grandpa set a third task. He wanted Roy to give the money to someone who needed it. Roy wanted to give $100 to the homeless man, but when the homeless man saw him, he was so scared that he ran away. It wasn't until he saw the school bag the homeless man had left behind, he realized that the backpack belonged to the mother and daughter. He also found a hospital bill for the girl in the backpack. Realizing that something was wrong, he rushed to the hospital. It was only then that he realized the girl was suffering from an extremely rare form of leukemia. She was in desperate need of money for an operation. Without saying a word, Roy found the girl's guardian. He gave him the money and told him to arrange the operation as soon as possible. But by the next day, Roy arrived at the hospital to visit the girl. The little girl had disappeared from the ward. After learning that the little girl had come to church, Roy came quietly to the place. It turned out that the little girl wasn't afraid of dying from her illness. She was just worried that her mother would be alone if she died. After hearing this, Roy promised he would come and visit them more often. With this one incident over and done with, Roy had passed the test with flying colors. But the next test, Grandpa asks him to go to Africa to learn about the importance of learning. But as soon as he arrived in Africa, he ran into a